All right, trying this again. Hey, everybody. I'm here after quite a while of being away from my channel because my internet has not been working very well, but also I have been working my butt off to complete this Halloween celebration for my kids. They don't celebrate it here where we are in Africa. So I really had to pull out all the stops. We did an amazing haunted house and it sucked the life out of me because you guys, I'm getting so old. So for me, it was a labor of love that I did for my kids. I'm glad that I did it, but it took up a lot of my time and energy. I needed some time afterwards to recover. And I've just kind of been sitting back, sort of thinking a lot about my channel, thinking a lot about the fact that I've covered Sisterwives for so long now, you guys, and how frustrated I've been with everything that's happened with that show, with that family. The fact that I just went through Christine's book and I wanted to kind of conclude it for all of us. But at the very end of Christine's book, the last chapter is all about Garrison Brown. And it was very difficult for me to read. I was crying throughout reading that chapter. I also read some other paragraphs about Garrison earlier in the book, looked up some video clips about Janelle talking about what happened with Garrison. And it was really difficult for me to look at all of that because it is not just a show. It is not just a character on TV. This was a living, breathing, beautiful person with a wonderful heart who we watched grow up on screen. We watched him, in a way he was a part of our lives. Those of us who have watched Sisterwives for quite a while now. And it's really difficult to sort of see him, to see what happened to him, but then to also have it fade away as not even being part of the narrative of what happened with this family. They barely talk about it. It barely gets addressed. And I am very willing to say that when it comes to Janelle or some of the people who are very close to Garrison, I understand that it's going to take time for them to understand where they're coming from and whether or not they even want to share that with us publicly. I totally get it, right? But the problem for me is I still feel like there's no closure. I still have a lot of anger and frustration with what happened on that show and the way that the family used the show, specifically the way that Cody used the show. I mean, it's a huge issue for me. So I've backed off. I don't watch the new season. I didn't want to talk about it anymore on my channel, but I was like, I need to come to some kind of a conclusion about Christine's book. And I took some time to kind of sit down and look at some scenes from the new season of Sisterwives, where Cody and Robin have moved into, hi, Ruth, it's nice to see you, good to see you, where Cody and Robin have moved into a new house, a new mega mansion, and they're making tons of money off this show, and it made me really angry. I'm angry about the karma that doesn't seem to be coming Cody's way, right? I know Fifth Wife would say otherwise, but Cody's an asshole. And he deserves to have a lot of negativity come back to him, and to watch him still doing this show, making a crap load of money off of it, being dishonest in the process. Because when Sisterwives first started on season 1, if you're one of those people who's been there from season 1 with me, I think you'll understand. Season 1, you really saw a real family, a struggling family that was coming forward and showing a lifestyle that was not common, that nobody knew about. It was interesting. It was real. We all got it. Okay. Right. And now what we're seeing is a desperately fake version of a family that doesn't even really exist. Robin and Cody are literally faking scenes for us to keep people interested. I absolutely believe that TLC and Robin and Cody, they read all of the crap that gets written about them online. They watch channels, some of the bigger Sisterwives channels, and they feed into it. They're like, oh my God, people are really into this idea that maybe we'll get another wife. We might look like assholes, but we want cha-ching, cha-ching, the money. So they are willing to literally go in front of the cameras and fake everything in order to continue to have those millions of dollars running into their bank accounts on a daily basis. And they need it because they're greedy and they're selfish. And we've watched it unfold season after season. Hi, Miss Maria. Nice to see you. Long time no see for sure. Lori says, hi, I'm from Minnesota. It's winter here. Oh my gosh. I miss winter. I miss it so much. You know, I try to fake that it's fall here. It is a little bit, you know, it's not like really hot, but I really miss the fall and the winter in the United States. So many of us grieved when Garrison passed. Yes. Cody was never held accountable for anything, and he still isn't. And the person that kind of like sits under him and supports him the most is obviously Robin. And it drives me crazy. It makes me insane that TLC still allows this show to carry on. I know they do it because they're making a ton of money off of it. And I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of all the money adding up and piling up. It distorts people. It feeds into their selfishness. It makes them worse than they would have been if they didn't have all that money to sit on and do whatever they wanted with it. I'm going to show a couple of clips. I want to make a really important point to you. The point is about how fake, number one, how fake this show is now. I am not watching it. I wish other people would stop watching it. Number two, I want to make the point of like, where the hell is Garrison in all this? Where? I'm so angry. I'm so angry that they carry on with this show and they videotape Aurora getting a new boyfriend. And it's like, your half brother is dead. Maybe this isn't like YouTube material, but I refuse to pretend like that didn't happen. It's not reality TV, and it's not, I mean, it is what they've made reality TV into, right? But this is not a game to me. Like these were real people. I thought we were watching them to gain like an understanding of what real life was like. And, you know, someone unaliving themselves is now part of this picture. And why hasn't it been addressed? I mean, it gets addressed in very small ways, but it needs to be addressed by the people who have created a lot of the sadness and destruction in this family. All right, so I'm going to bring up let me try to make this a little bit easier for you guys to see, and we'll add this to the stage.
State in my life.
Yeah. I wanted to go ahead and take a look at some of the clips from the recent season. That's going to be short. And then it's going to segue into like what I remember, you know, happening with Garrison and the fact that, you know, they've just moved on. Like it's nothing. I mean, Cody especially. Now, I understand they have a private life that happens, you know, when they're not on camera, but this should be addressed. And even the way that they're moving forward into this new house, Aurora's become the big new star of this TLC show. I guarantee you that Robin is looking at a future of Aurora having her own either segment part of this show or having her own show entirely on TLC. And I really feel a lot of frustration and anger towards this. Let's take a look at what's going on with the new season.
Would be, just how good looking she is. I'm not kidding.
And that would be the very worst reason.
I come home from a trip.
Oh, just because it's been.
So these small clips, because once again, I'm not watching the new season, but I check in on it on TikTok to kind of get an idea of what's going on. And, you know, I was hoping to see, I kind of expected to see that we would be given some kind of insight into what happened to your family, to your children that you left behind during COVID. Like, how are you working on that? How are you remedying some of this trauma and like really sad situations that erupted from you abandoning your other families? Like, when are we going to see that? Well, it turns out, you know, from most of the clips that I've seen, you know, on these alternative media sites, you know, most of these clips are just about, oh my God, Aurora's dating. Can you believe it? Oh my God, is Cody going to get a new wife? That's fake. It's totally made up for the show. The dating part, I mean, of course, Aurora is probably actually dating someone and going to get married. But the idea that they keep sitting down in a cafe, Robin and Cody, and talking about should we or shouldn't we with a new wife? Should we talk about sex with a new wife? They are doing that for the clicks and views. They're doing that for, you know, to gain more of their audience, to keep their audience interested so they can continue this show and continue to make a shitload more money. When you see clips of like Christine, you know, she's actually talking about the real shit that got her here. like the real things that happen. When you see clips of Meri, I think she's doing some of the same. She's addressing real issues that we care about. People who have watched this show for 20 plus seasons, we care about what happened. We want to see you actually taking a look at yourself and being honest with yourself in any way, shape, and form. And it's really hard to not see so much fault in Robin for this. And I really hate to do that because Cody is responsible for himself. But the way that Robin came into this family and situated herself as someone who cares, she for damn sure has not acted like someone who cares. She could have at any time, including right now, this moment, she could say to Cody, get out of my house, get out of my bed, get out of my life until you work out things with your other children, because I am not going to be a mother to someone's kids when he's not taking care of his kids from wives who came before me. I refuse. She could be doing that. She could have been doing that all along. And it all comes back to there has to be such great turmoil in the lives of Janelle and her kids for all of this to have happened. And we'll see some of the scenes that are going to come out a little bit later in this montage. It is shocking that it is not being addressed directly on this show. Ruth says, and I think this is really well said, I have two categories of browns. One makes me angry. The other makes me pity. And it didn't have to be that. I mean, we all come from families where really hard things have happened. I mean, most of us have had difficult things happen in our lives. But the fact that Robin and Cody, they just completely shut down to anyone else's feelings as soon as COVID happened. They just use that as an excuse to abandon those other families. They abandoned them. Robin too. She abandoned them. You're going to hear her say, these are my kids. I care about my kids. No, you don't. You never cared about the other kids. And that's what's most important to me. I don't even care about the relationships between Cody, Meri, Janelle, Christine. I really don't. I'm sorry that they didn't end well, but it's really about being a father to the children that you chose to have. And it is absolutely ridiculous that this show continues on ignoring. And if you're not aware, I kind of bring it up in one chapter of the book. One of the main producers who worked with Christine and a lot of the Sisterwives for all of these seasons, since season number 1, he left I think it was either a year ago or 2 years ago, right before Garrison took his life, a little bit before that. And I think, Christine says in her book, I think it was because it was really hard for him to watch the destruction of this family. That's how I feel. I think that's how everyone should feel. I think TLC should have addressed this show in a totally different way. They could have done so many different things with it that would have actually addressed what happened. And it makes me so angry to continue to see it going down. It's going down like a slippery slope, but money coming into Robin and Cody. And they are setting their kids up to have their own show. I absolutely believe that. I'm so done with it. And this, it's going to be this will be my conclusion for what I, talked about regarding Christine's book. But at this point in time, I'm just kind of shocked that people still watch it, that this is something that TLC is willing to keep putting on the air. They could have done it differently. There's so many things they could have done. They should have said to Cody and Robin, we're not going to go forward with you. You're not going to get money from us unless you open up and start talking about what's really going on here. And we get to ask you the really hard questions about your children, because that's what's most important. Let's see this one. Lori says, last season, it was so evident where they cut Garrison out. He was a major part of the season. So that means he endured another year of Cody being mean to him that we didn't see. I absolutely believe that's true. I believe there's a lot of stuff that happened behind the scenes that we never saw. He abandoned those kids. He abandoned them. And now we pay him millions of dollars to have another season and get a new mansion and marry off his, stepchildren so we can watch it. It's absolutely ridiculous. I want to hear more from the children. I agree. I do sometimes I listen to McKelty's channel and her boyfriend, Tony. The thing is, we've already heard a lot from a lot of those kids, and there's just other people that could speak out. I mean, it's not even just the brown children. It's a lot of children of polygamy. That's the show they should make. Children of polygamy. me for the past 10 years, like what has been going on in that community. Let's listen to a little bit more.
Wow.
I guess.
You're funny. Every chance we talk about her romance with the arms.
Because I'm relating.
So this is a clip from the new season and enter Aurora. I absolutely believe that in the most disgusting and selfish way, Cody and Robin have decided Aurora is going to be their new Barbie doll that they put up on the stage and they make a show out of. Because I absolutely believe that the producers came to Cody and Robin and they're like, you guys have not been very interesting for quite a while now. It's the other Sisterwives who have carried the show. So you need to make it interesting in these upcoming seasons if you want to continue on in this, role. And they're like, hey, here's what we'll do. We'll pretend like we're getting a new wife. We'll talk about sex all the time. And we'll start like pawning off our 20-something-year-old daughter who seems to be very sheltered and have her own issues going on here. We'll just make her the center of this entire season.
Hey, Brody, how's it going?
Hey, good. How are you doing?
Good. Kids are excited to see you. Aurora's not, though.
Whoa! What? I said I was nervous.
So that's Aurora's new boyfriend. He's become a big part of the new season from several clips that I've seen. I believe he's in the armed forces. So he's like kind of coming back and forth between seeing her and being like he's working basically. And there's a lot of like one-on-one interviews with Aurora, which we did not see before. Robin's children were very protected when McKelty and all those other kids were part of their family, and they were the ones doing all of the interviews and stuff. Now that I think TLC has said to Robin and Cody, you need to participate, you need to like give us something, they've decided to offer up Robin's girls. And I absolutely believe Aurora is the kind of person who's like, yay, good, I'll be famous now. I think that that is something that she is willing to do, that she's excited about. And she's an adult now, so it's her choice to do it. But I know for me, like, I'm not going to keep tuning into this. I think, like, you basically threw your other kids in the back of the car, dumped them off somewhere in a garbage dump, and left them. And now our total focus is on these, 5 children who are your life now. And I can't anymore.
Considered big for, like, a lot of monogamous families. A stereotypical normal-sized monogamous family is. I would want like a big family, 3 to 5 kids.
That's considered big.
Considered big.
Okay, this is exactly what I was thinking. So this is a clip, once again, of Aurora talking to Robin. They're all around the campfire. They're using her for their show. And Ruth, I love you. This is right on target with what I am thinking. She goes, I can just imagine Aurora and her 4-part wedding special 100%. Meanwhile, like, what has happened with these other, like, what is going on? And the whole point of this show was to talk about, like, what happens in plural marriage. I don't need to see like Aurora getting married to someone else and, is she going to take on another wife? I want to know, why did this happen to Garrison? What's going on with the other kids? Does this have to do with the fact that like he was really pushed aside by his dad? Some of that is there. Some of that should be addressed. Suicide rates are really high in polygamous children in that specific community. There's a lot of like issues with depression, not getting medication. These were all things that could have been addressed by this show, and they're not being addressed, and it really pisses me off. And so I wrote new show, who dat? Like, definitely when it comes to Aurora, Ruth Carroll, you are spot on. A 4-part wedding series, and then it'll be like a 5-part honeymoon. I mean, everything is going to be funded by TLC. And, I think that's also part of the reason why the original producers would have left, because they had a certain vision for the show, and that vision is completely gone. Now it's just all about like, who's getting married next? Who's going to have another sister wife? Like, let's talk about butt sex. If you guys don't remember, that came up in regards to Meri Brown and Cody. I mean, it's become so salacious and ridiculous, but we're not dealing with the truly like real salacious things. Like, why did this happen to a child on this show?
For like a lot of monogamous families.
What has your experience been like with religion? Has it been positive, negative, both? Like, how would you describe your own journey?
So here we have another clip of Robin using her daughter on this show. Like, obviously, it's all about Aurora at this point in time. I'm going to let this play for a little bit while I grab, unfortunately, my charger so I can finish this out. I only have like 10 more minutes to do, but I need to get this point across to you. I'm going to let you watch a little bit more while I grab the charger, and then we'll come back and talk about it. I love this. Michelle Hallman, Cody will pick the dress. I do not doubt it. And walk her down the aisle, of course. I mean, she has a father, but no one cares about that.
I mean, especially with the way that things sort of ended up. If you didn't think the same way that they thought, then you weren't welcome.
What's it been like for you?
Oh boy. I actually had a really positive experience in our church. At this point, I don't see my future anymore. And the hopes and dreams that I had are just disappearing before my eyes.
Robin's holding on to something. I've always said this woman has a spine of concrete and steel. And she's been holding on to the dream that I sold her on with my family for a lot longer. But I keep trying to go, let's move on. Let's let this go. Let's just tell ourselves and believe it. Because I believe it now. It was never meant to be. It was never meant to work. We had children together. We gave life to these children. These children can have a great life, just not with a mom and dad that are together.
Meri told Cody she wasn't going to do Christmas with us this year because of what's going on between her and Cody.
You know, overall, when I look at what our family has been and looking at what it is now, it is very sad. And, you know, when you find out that your husband just really didn't love you, nor did he with many of the other wives in the family, it's like, well, you know, I'm sad that it's come to this, but like, why did it take so long to come to this? Why did it even start if this isn't something that he was interested in, you know?
I love my kids.
Cody Garrison is my fourth son. He is now back living with me in Flagstaff. He and Cody really butt heads over the CDC guidelines, Cody's guidelines, and whether even Garrison's being safe at all. He now has bought a trailer that he's going to park to the side of my rental house, and he's going to fix it up and live in that while he finishes the saving for his house for a couple months.
The trailer is got too much work to be done on it. Garrison doesn't move out.
I have gotten myself in a very stupid position as far as an independent woman. If I were to leave or want to leave right now, I would have no estate. I have nothing. My hands are completely tied. Everything I have asset-wise has everybody else's name on it too. Honestly, I gave half the proceeds from my house in Vegas to Robin to help purchase this house that she's in currently. We also at that time pulled a lot of money from the joint family account to help get her into that house.
So a few days after the confrontation, we got a text message from McKelty saying that Robin and her kids weren't going to participate in this year's gift exchange. And it kind of hurt.
All of you are just kind of jerks. I don't want to be around you, and I'm tired of it. And I don't want to call them, and I don't want to talk to them.
And that's why I'm done with Robin. I don't care to talk to Robin anymore. This
I don't know if you guys can see me or hear me, but I just had to run down, like, I'm on the 5th floor. So let me see if I can add the video back in. And you know, my internet has been so crazy. Okay, let me grab this real quick. Christine Brown. Yeah. Okay.
Are we talking about sex?
Yeah, I'm not. Oh, my primary motivation, I'm afraid, at this state in my life, would be.
Okay, I will go through and like edit this later. But of course I forgot my charger. All right, so I wanted to talk about how Cody and Robin, they're really going to use Aurora. They're using her already in this new season. They are creating this whole storyline around her, and it has to do with her boyfriend. And as we've talked about already, like this is going to be a part of the show, if not her own show. I really think that the people who make this series were like, we really need something from you, Cody. You're going to have to come up with something. Now, once again, I believe that Aurora isn't being used, right? Because I think that she stepped forward and was like, yeah, I want to do this. You can see like she's got her makeup done for all of these scenes. They're presenting her in the most positive light possible. I'm sure that Robin went to the producers and was like, I need to have control of this. You're not going to like present her negatively. And this is going to be a big part of this season. And it really bothers me because it's like leaving behind all the turmoil that we've watched erupt over the past couple of seasons. You know, Christine goes out and writes this book for us exposing all of the lies of Sisterwives, and it's not even being addressed. It's not being addressed on here, and it drives me crazy. So I wrote, what new girl can we objectify and use for content? And obviously Aurora, being the oldest, is the one they're going to start with. I'm sure they'll start moving down as each of the kids get a little bit older.
Ended up, if you didn't think the same way that they thought, then you weren't welcome.
What was it been like for you?
Oh boy. I actually had a really positive experience in our church. At this point, I don't see.
Okay, let me see here. I wonder if I'm slow. Let me see if turning on my VPN would help. I'm still learning about. Okay, I have my VPN on. Let's see if that helps or not. All right, Ruth says it's 56 in PA. I love Pennsylvania. I love the colors of the trees. I love driving through Pennsylvania, one of my favorite states in the fall. Okay, despite most of Cody's children being neglected, they are still well-rounded people. So I feel very sad for the Robin children who seem to suffer under Robin's reign. That's a really good point, actually. I mean, I really think Aurora and the other kids, they're like infantilized, you know, like they really have been so weirdly treated and I think Robin would say I'm protecting them, but I don't really see it that way. She's infantilizing them big time. Like I remember seeing some of the younger kids, Solomon, and I forget the girl's name at this point in time, but the two of them really don't act their age. Not at all. I mean, maybe they're homeschooled. Maybe that's a part of it. I know a lot of homeschool kids who act much older than, you know, their designated age, but they definitely act like kids who have been treated in a way that concerns me, right? And then you have all these other things going on with the family. And are they even like ever exposed to the other kids? Like, I really wonder. You never saw like Solomon playing with Truly. You know, just like very, very rare to ever see any of that. Lori says, I bet Aurora doesn't get paid or Cody gets her scraps. I'm sure there's some kind of contract. And I think that it would be like some form of payment, but it would come with control. It's like Robin gets to control Aurora, and Aurora doesn't care about that because she's been controlled her whole life. She's like, they're probably going to give her some money. They're probably telling her that TLC will pay for the wedding. TLC will pay for other big events as long as she participates in all of this filming. And she's like, hell yeah. I mean, what girl would it be? Like when they're starting out in life, I don't believe she's going to college. We don't know about her having a job. She might have like some kind of, you know, position somewhere, but I would imagine it's not making a crap load of money like her parents have been making at TLC. So for her, this is probably a huge boon. She's probably like, yes, get me on that show ASAP. All right, let's see. Michelle. So are K&R going to be upset if people turn on Aurora the way he's turned on his other children? Yeah, I think, yeah, I absolutely think Robin and Cody will throw a fucking hissy fit if something happens where the audience turns on their children that they're trying to protect now. They really have set up, I mean, if you watch some of the clips, if you're watching the season, they've set it up for Aurora to come across as this very innocent, loving, wonderful child who had nothing to do with all the negative stuff that's happened in this show. And I would agree. And I really wouldn't blame any of the kids. They're doing the best they can. They've been put on a show. They're human beings. They can make mistakes. The problem I have with it is Robin. Robin is the problem. Let's see if this is caught up for us.
My future anymore. And the hopes and dreams that I had are just disappearing.
She's talking about the fact that Meri has decided not to come to Christmas this year. The hopes and dreams that I had are just disappearing because Meri chose not to. She decided not to come to Christmas. I mean, the level of like complete, I mean, honestly, narcissism, this selfishness, this selfish bubble that Robin has created around her is absolutely ridiculous. Why would Meri want to come to Christmas? So that she can watch you and your loving family when Meri struggles with even getting her Leon to come to like family events. I'm sure Leon wouldn't be there. Like, why would Meri want to come and watch you like snuggle up with Cody and play with your little kids? Why? Why would that be fun for her? Because the thing is, it's all about Robin. Robin doesn't care how fun it is for Meri. Robin doesn't care if it's enjoyable. Robin doesn't care about anybody else enjoying anything but her. And, you know, hence she's crying here. Like, it's just so hard for her. You know, the only thing that's hard for her is that she liked lording over the other wives. She liked that Cody was, you know, obviously drawn towards her in front of the other wives, that she was given preference in front of the other wives, that the other kids saw it. I believe that that was something she enjoyed. And that is what she misses about Sisterwives.
Before my eyes.
Robin's holding on to something. I've always said this woman has a spine of concrete and steel, and she's been holding on to
a spine of concrete and steel. I mean, a spine of concrete and steel wouldn't sit at home all day, never getting a job, never contributing much to the show, because for the last several seasons, we've rarely seen Robin. It's not a spine of concrete and steel to basically sit on your ass and be taken care of for years and years while you watch these other women and their children struggle. It's not a spine of steel to like get the biggest house and, you know, have your husband with you all the time. Like it's absolutely ridiculous the way that they have created their own narrative about themselves and how amazing they are. You know, when I think of a spine of concrete and steel, I think of Janelle. Someone who did work her ass off day after day, who stuck through some really hard times with Cody and Meri, dear Lord, you know, and continues to get through some really hard shit day after day. I want to point out here that Michelle is saying, I thought she graduated from college. So Michelle, you could be right. Aurora may have graduated from college and I'm not aware of it. And I don't know what kind of job she may or may not have. I'm just assuming it would never be a job that makes as much money as she would make doing TLC work. And that's really what it comes down to for me, is like, we've created TLC, and all of us, the fandom, have created this opportunity for all of these people that they are willing to jump at and take advantage of. And I think a lot of people would be. It would be hard to pass it up. I get that. But when they take advantage of this opportunity, it creates such a false sense of how the world works. I mean, this is part of the reason why Cody has become who he's become, because he had all this money thrown at him, all this fame. He had seasons upon seasons signed on to, so he knew more money was coming. I talked before about the fact that I had looked at this financial consultant taking a look at the new house that Robin and Cody purchased together. And he was like, the only way I could see them being able to afford this house is if Cody was able to show that he had a contract for several more years with TLC. And I think we've created this. We've created this monster that is Cody Brown. And secondarily comes Robin, who has also become a monster. And it trickles down to this like royal family, Robin, Cody, and their kids together, who get to sit on top of a mountain in a mega mansion and, really look down on everybody else in that family. And Aurora, one issue that I do have with Aurora is she has spoken out and spoken negatively about some of the other kids and moms. And she's been very forthright about how she believes that her mom has done everything she possibly could to keep these marriages together. Her mom did her best and gave her all. And really, she really props Robin up as just being this incredible person. I understand that's her mom, right? But the problem is that's not the reality that all of us have seen over the many seasons. I do not like the way that this season has gone. Not at all. We'll finish this up. Monsters, Inc. $70 doll collection. Yes, exactly. Sitting on her $70 doll collection in her mega mansion. Let's finish this up. And then I think you already saw, we move into what's going on with Garrison. Let's do that.
The dream that I sold her on with my family for a lot longer. But I keep trying to go, let's move on. Let's let this go. Let's just tell ourselves and believe it. Because I believe it now. It was never meant to be. It was never meant to work. We had...
Lori says narrative and twisting the knives further in the other wives and children. Absolutely. Absolutely. Every scene that I have watched from the new season is twisting that knife into his, and definitely the other wives, but also into his children repeatedly. And we're going to see some of that. Forever destroyed their relationships while Cody stood by his wife who abetted his abuse. Totally. Very well said, Lori.
Children together. We gave life to these children. These children can have a great life, just not with a mom and...
Okay, so here, let me go back.
Children together. We gave life to these children. These children...
So, here Cody is talking about how, we just have to move on. It's over. And my point is, nothing is over, actually. You still have lives and children with these other women, and you have lives with these children. Stop. He's going to say here, I guess we can still have relationships, just not, I won't have a relationship with their mom. But we have seen zero evidence of a relationship. And if you watch, some of McKelty's streams that she does on YouTube, she hasn't seen her dad. He is not involved with his other kids. Not at all. And Robin is highly aware of everything that's happening, highly aware of what he's saying. Absolutely. She long ago should have put her foot down and said, you won't be hanging out with me. You won't be in my bed. That should have all been done before it ever got to this point.
Can have a great life, just not with a mom and dad that are together.
Meri told Cody she wouldn't gonna do Christmas with us this year because of what's going on between her and Cody.
Overall, when I look at what our family has,
again, look at this picture. We have seen prior Christmases where all the kids were together and they were loving on each other. Robin's children aren't even close with any of these kids because she wouldn't she literally said ew, you have cooties. Garrison, you have cooties, get away from my kids. That's literally what Robin said. And look what has happened. That family has been torn apart. One of the kids was so depressed that he took his own life. That's serious shit. That's bullshit. How dare she sit there and say that she's sad that nobody's showing up for her Christmas party? You created this, Robin. You created it. Now no one's coming. You don't have any friends. You don't have any family.
been and looking at what it is now, it is very sad. And, when you find out that your husband just really didn't love you, nor did he with many of the other wives in the family, it's well, I'm sad that it's come to this, but why did it take so long to come to this? Why did it even start if this isn't something that...
Now I have issues with Meri because Meri, you're a part of it too. You're a huge part of everything that happened. And this idea that why didn't he tell me how he felt? Why didn't you do something about what was happening, Meri? Meri and Cody's relationship was all messed up for a long time now. And to totally blame it on Cody, that Cody didn't tell her. That's just a false narrative as well. in this culture, in this religion, it is normal and typical and accepted for the wife to be the one that comes forward and says, I don't want this relationship anymore. So Meri knew that too. She also knew that it would be hard for Cody to say, I don't want to be married to you anymore, especially after she had her cheating scandal with some woman online. Like, Meri, we don't forget all of that. I do feel like Meri has become more normalized lately in a lot of her videos, but I don't forget what she was, what she did, how she messed with Leon's whole mental health by having Leon involved with that weird woman that she met on the internet. Like, we all make mistakes. I get it, but it's just like too much for me.
He was interested in, you know.
I love my kids.
So she says, I love my kids. All right. I do want to say down here, JB says, isn't the new mega mansion built on in a toxic environment? It's kind of poetic if that's true. I totally agree. I hope. And I hate to be that way, but like, that mansion is built on our millions of dollars that we basically gave them by watching that show, and it's not deserved. Okay, Michelle says, Special Forces put him in his place the other night. He's immature. Great. I have not been watching that because of him, but I do have a clip from it here that I found really interesting. Lori says, they force relationships on all children without listening to those wanting to be heard and treated like Rob's kids. Yeah, I just think that Robin did some really shady shit where she was suddenly like, wait a minute, my kids are too good to hang out with your kids. I mean, that's really what I saw on the program. I mean, she didn't say that directly, but that's what she was saying. Like, she wouldn't let Christine watch her kid. Like, she made her own family with Cody, you know, and every time you saw like a holiday, it's like all the other kids were intermingling, but Robin's kids weren't. I mean, so it's just really weird to me. So Robin says, I love my kids. And then I really question, like, you love your kids, Robin. What about all these other kids that you claimed were also
Cody,
yours?
Garrison is my fourth son. He is now back living with me in Flagstaff. He and Cody really butt heads over the CDC guidelines, Cody's guidelines, and whether even Garrison's being safe at all. He now has bought a trailer that he's going to park to the side of my rental house, and he's going to fix it up and live in that while he finishes the saving for his house for a couple.
So let us not forget that while Robin and her children were living in this mega mansion with like so many rooms, and they bought like a trailer for Dayton, Robin's son, like so that he could live in his own place, and they were paying for him to go to college, and Janelle gave all her money to Robin to buy the house. Janelle is struggling with the fact that she has a small rental. She can't really fit her kids in it. And because Cody is throwing a fucking bitch fit about having his sons at Janelle's house, Janelle has to now put Garrison in a trailer.
The trailer is got too much work to be done on it. Garrison doesn't move out.
I have gotten myself in a very stupid position as far as an independent woman. If I were to leave or want to leave right now, I would have no estate. I have nothing. My hands are completely tied. Everything I have asset-wise has everybody else's name on it too. Honestly, I gave half the proceeds from my house in Vegas to Robin to help purchase this house that she's
just once again making the point that Janelle was really hurting and her family was really hurting. What was going on with Garrison, like, we were aware. It was coming up in the season. It was coming up in the episodes, and it wasn't being addressed. Cody said F you to all of these people. Michelle says, regarding Robin, she helped destroy relationships with his family. She should encourage the repair of those same relationships. Yeah, and I really think she should have long ago put her foot down and said, you're not hanging out with me. Like, I really don't mind the idea that Cody and these wives had to break up. That's something separate. You know, Christine moving on, Janelle moving on. That's something separate from how he treats them today, how he treats his children today. And what I am angry about is the fact that he has selfishly abandoned all of them. That is the problem. Let's finish this up with Janelle.
in currently. We also at that time pulled a lot of money from the joint family account to help get her into that house.
So a few days after the confrontation, we got a text message from McKelty.
Hey, buddy.
Saying that Robin and her kids weren't going to participate in this year's gift exchange. And it kind of hurt.
All of you are just kind of jerks. I don't want to be around you, and I'm tired of it. And I don't want to call them, and I don't want to talk to them.
And that's why I'm done with Robin. I don't care to talk to Robin anymore. That this is us going, you know what, Robin, have him. Because we don't care anymore. We're all grown adults.
Sorry, my son just came in to take his calculator or my calculator that he wants to play with. I'm going to finish this up, but basically it's so sad to watch like these older videos of Garrison like expressing himself, and his brother as well. They're all like expressing how they felt about what Cody was doing. And that was the time in which like Cody could have stepped in and made a difference in these young men's lives, and he obviously chose not to. And then this is what I want to show you. So this is a clip from Special Forces that I want to show to you because this is really the end. This is the point of what I want to get across to all of you. Here's Cody on Special Forces after they told him to write a letter to like his most important person if he were to die. Okay.
Dear Robin, love of my life, please tell my children I had wanted more time to tell them I love them. Had there been time, I would have got it right, fixed it. You are my rock through so much sadness. I'll see you in your dreams, sweet queen. My eternal love, Cody.
Right. Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's the end of what I wanted to show you. So here we have Cody on Special Forces. Again, I haven't watched the show, but they tell him like, if you were to die today, like who would you write a letter to? Of course, it's Robin. The whole letter is about Robin because that's all he cares about. Whatever she has going on down under is so magical. But like, I mean, this man is such like, he's so self-centered, but then when he turns around and he's like so into Robin, it really makes me wonder like what she has going on down there. I mean, I think she's willing to go a little bit further than most of us in the bedroom. That's what I'm trying to say to you, because he is so into her, but I can't really see it as being like a soul connection or heart connection, because I don't even see Cody as having a heart that he's using. He doesn't think with his heart, what he has done to his children is unacceptable. And to put him on this other show and be like, hey, like, who would you write a letter to? Like, maybe write a letter to all of your kids. Maybe write a letter to just your children who you brought into this world. How many are they, you guys? I think there's 17. It's a lot of kids. He brought them into this world, and then he dumped them off on the side of the road and said, see you later. I'm going on, moving on. It's like when you play the game of life and you're moving down that road, and sometimes you like encounter bad things and good things. It's like Cody took a sideways turn. He swerved off the road. His kids kept going straight, heading down the road of like the normal road of life. And he went up to the big mansion where he gets to retire with Robin. And it's like, he has completely left behind his children. His wives that were there with him from the start, when he had no money, when he had no show, when they were living in this god-awful trailer to begin with. I mean, that's all in Christine's book. It's just awful to think about the fact that they've gotten away with it. Robin and Cody have gotten away with it because we are in a new season and TLC has moved the heck on. They have left behind everything that happened in the last couple of seasons, and they've created this fake, desperate show for all of us to watch where we get to see, oh, Aurora's getting married. What's going to happen? Cody has become totally single-minded towards his own peace and satisfaction in life. He doesn't care what's happening. All those people are left behind him. See you later. So long, sucker. I mean, that's really what he's saying to all of these people. Again, as always, I recommend buying and reading Christine's book. I think she's a worthwhile person. I like supporting her. And the end of the book, the last chapter, is all about Garrison. I love to hear the stories about Garrison growing up, what a good kid he was. We all saw that on the show. And I know that whatever he was dealing with was incredibly complicated, and it's not all about being on a TLC show, and it's not all about being in a plural family. But a lot of those things did lead to where he ended up. And I think it would be really good to talk about them, to sort through them, to talk about how it may still affect all of the other children who lost a brother. Like, I find it really interesting that Christine was able to write this amazing chapter about Garrison, and that's not her biological child. I think that Christine and Janelle do really exemplify this idea of we are the mother of all of these children. We share these children. The way that Christine was able to write about her feelings towards Garrison, it really made me feel the deep feelings she had towards him. Cody can't even give me any kind of surface feelings except for anger. And maybe that's something that really should be looked at. Like, how did Cody get this way? How is he just able to dust aside, leave behind, trample over these tiny little children that he brought into this world, and these wives that supported him and loved him and stayed with him through some really hard and shitty times? He's able to just dust them aside. To me, like, what happened in your life, Cody, that you have created the ability to just shut something out, leave it behind, and move on? That's what TLC should be looking at. That was the purpose of this show from the beginning, was to take a hard, difficult look at what's going on in a culture that isn't mainstream and look at the good and the bad of it. And I don't want to see more people having marriages. 4-part series, as Ruth reminded us. No, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm surprised. I'll have to watch this back because I don't believe really all of it went through. My internet connection is so crazy here. I am going to take a look at it, edit it, and put it back up on my channel. And I'm going to be moving on to a new subject. I think I'm going to be talking about some crazy shit going on with Kevin Federline, Britney Spears' ex-husband. I know that he wrote a book. It was something that I wanted to talk about, but I also ended up chatting with someone who apparently is like friends with Federline. Not Britney, doesn't have anything to do with Britney, but friendly with Federline, and just has a lot to say about the kind of person Federline is in real life. And I find it quite interesting. If you don't already know my take on that, I think that Kevin, being a selfish asshole, created a Britney Spears who probably needs a whole lot of therapy. Right. Okay, much love to all of you. I'm so glad to see you. Thanks for coming, Michelle, Ruth, and Lori. It was so good to see you guys, and I hope to see you all again soon. I'm heading out from my closet, going to spend some time with my kids, and hope to see you guys soon. Come on in. What do you need?